The guy we hired was $2,000 cheaper than the guy that walked on the property and just said, well, it'll take 2 days and I'll be between this and that chimney sweep brush on it. Now this works fine because our chimney is only 2, 4, 6, 8 foot tall, and I can put it at the top. Now if you've got a Welcome to Time by the Tent, another surprise trip up to the land. It is a Wednesday, first time I've ever been at the property on a Wednesday, just for my notation. Up here on a Wednesday because tomorrow the driveway is getting installed. And what you just saw there should be the last time, or one of the last times, I ever have to pull the wagon up from the parking pad when conditions are good and the driveway is not mudded out or soaked or anything like that. So, got a few things I can do. I got to do a little more prep work on where the driveway is and do some finalization there. And then I've got, in addition to the outdoor shed over there, another covering for the roof to keep that from leaking. Discovered that well, I knew it was leaking, didn't know what to what degree until it was raining last weekend when we were here, and I stepped in there and saw it was pretty bad. So I should either get that going tonight or tomorrow whenever the driveway's getting cut in. Just got enough stuff here, camera gear, drone, just enough to get me through tonight and midday tomorrow. Come along with me as I got to go in the woods here and add an external battery pack to this one camera until our lithium battery comes. And it's supposed to come tomorrow when I'm up here. So I do have this ammo box with a 12-volt battery in it in order to supplement external power, because we're at 46% right now. So I came in here and I cut a lot of this out. The camera's this way, that's the wrong trail. With that ice storm that came through in late February, early March. And then that has helped funnel these deer where I want them to go as pet deer are animals of least resistance. So they're going to take the path that's easiest. You can see right through here where they've been walking. That's the path in which I've cut. Oh, there's one. I just heard one run over there. You can see right there. They're licking on that branch. They come by, and I've got them on their hind legs. So I want to get in here. Oh, we'll see what that does. I'll get back to camp, and that should trigger a picture, and then I can see what my percentage is. Looks like something has bedded down there. So we've had a very, very active last couple of weeks on the trail cameras that we had in the woods here. We've got 2, 3, 4, 5 out here, and I can see that some places where they're traveling, some places where they're looping around and hitting both cameras. So while we're walking back, I'll tell you the story about the driveway. Now keep in mind, today's Wednesday. we've been wanting a driveway since we got the property, but because of finances and all that goes around with getting the camp established and everything, we're going to hold off. We were in the position to make a move this year. So today's Wednesday, not 2 days ago Monday, but a week ago Monday, I started looking for landscapers that can come in and cut in a driveway. There's not many in the area that we are located. So it's not like I have 45 to choose from. So I emailed 2 companies a week ago this past Monday. And I detail in the email, here's what I want to have done. In addition, I send a video. I made a month ago a 4-minute video in great detail. Here's the width, here's the location, anything you possibly could want to know. So the one company, because they're on YouTube and private, I can still see the analytics on it. So the one company looked at it, emailed back and said, we're booking out end of August, early September. If you're still interested, let us know and we'll get you a quote. Now it's early portions of June right now. The other company, he calls me up, doesn't look at the video. I explained that I sent a video to him in the email, but basically I break down what I'm wanting to do. And he said, this was 10 days ago, I can come out this coming weekend if you're going to be there, and we can walk through and I can take a look at it and get you a quote. I say, okay, fine. So he comes out this last weekend, him and his partner, and we walk the driveway and explain exactly what's in the video. And now Holly's in the tent, doesn't want to meet him, which is fine. I understand that, because we're trying to figure out what it is. We don't have a picnic or anything. So we get done, and he said, oh, this will be X amount of dollars. I'm not going to give you hard numbers because it's not important to the story. He just looks at it and goes, this will be between this to this. I said, okay, I got to talk to my wife first. This is a big decision, a lot of money. If we go forward with it, how soon could you get started? And he said, we were booking out in early August. I've got 8 more jobs to look at today and tomorrow. But the sooner you decide, the sooner we can get going. I said, how long will this take? Is this a day job or what? He goes, this will be a 2-day job. We'll come in the first day, kind of cut it out, and then come back the second day and clean it up for you. Okay. They leave. I tell Holly, she's in the tent, explain what they said. And she said, that seems kind of high for what little bit we're wanting to do. 250 feet, 12 foot wide. Elevation from parking pad up here and smooth out a parking area up here. So we mold it over, and Monday morning at 7:30 I emailed 2 more companies. One in which we had met at the Green Bay Hunting Expo, and the other one, which I had seen before when I emailed the 2 companies prior, but they had on their website jobs or what they can do and their starting out cost, and it was way higher than we thought it should be for what we wanted to do. But I emailed them anyway with the video and the detailed description and everything. So the company in which we met at the Green Bay Expo got back and said, I'm having problems viewing the video. Can you send it a different way? So I sent it a different way. Never heard anything from them. I figured I'd give both these companies a day and then I'd follow up. Then on my counter, on my analytics, it showed that one view happened like at 9 o'clock, the other happened like 11. So about 3 o'clock, I get an email from the company in which is going to do the job tomorrow. Detailed outline of here's what you've requested, here's how much it's going to cost. And there was a $500 discount if we booked before Friday, not today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Friday. This was Monday, so 4 days. Because they're in the area, the equipment's in the area, but if we can't do it this week, they would have to come back in August at some point, and it would be the $500 additional to what they quoted us. The company is literally like 3 minutes down the road. He's doing other driveways. So I call him up and everything, and he said that they were just down the road, and they came over here and walked up the driveway and absolutely could do it. No problem, because they had got rained out on Monday. And Friday would be the day to go. Well, he texted me last night and said Friday's going to be, which I've been watching the radar and the forecast, Friday's going to be a washout. Tomorrow's the day to make a move, and that's what he's going to do. So when it's all said and done, the guy who quoted us last week when he was on the property, and this guy who quoted us in a paper, in a PDF, in an email, documenting everything that we wanted, the guy we hired was $2,000 cheaper than the guy that walked on the property and just said, well, it'll take 2 days and I'll be between this and this. So this guy's going to knock it out in 1 day, probably only about 6 hours. It won't take long. I've looked at his portfolio, his website. I mean, I've talked to him, knows what he's doing. Very, very encouraged with that. He'll be able to make the transition from the rock to the dirt and bring it up here and clean everything up we want. So, and the funny part is that website, his website, that had a listing of all the things in which he does, and the starting out point was $1,500 higher than what he has quoted us for this job. I'll take it. So the moral of the whole story, this whole, however long this story's been, is regardless of what the website says, email people and get a hard number. And he was very pleased with the video. He said that helped out a lot. We came over, we walked up, we watched the video. We know exactly what you want, and that's how they wrote out the agreement, and then sent the contract over. I signed it, and we're good to go. So that's the story on the driveway. I'm sure that was as exciting as it possibly could have been. Let us go down, and I need to move part of a limb, and then I want to try to dig up one of these pine trees and move it over. We will get a gate. That's going to be dealt with next week. But if you followed last week's program, last week's video, I put the markers out. And good thing I did. I wasn't planning on doing it. I just figured I had them, had some time. Let's put them out, and we're rolling. From the time I send the hey, here I'm looking for a contract to cut a driveway into, he's going to be here less than 4 days. So now trees like this, it's already dying. That one's already dying. It's this one, these two down here I want to try to dig up. Maybe not worth my effort. But I was kind of thinking I had till August to get this done, and I'm excited they're going to come in and do it. So I'm going to work and dig those up. If I can get those dug up, I'm going to put them right, kind of right in that area there. I think would be best, because that would kind of be the edge of the driveway. So there was 2 big ones and like 4 little ones, and I got them dug up instead of putting them where I was thinking. Moved them over here totally out of the way. That will not be encroached on over there. I still got to come down with the saw, cut that limb, and throw it to the side, because that's going to be what I block the road with along with the sign until we actually get a gate here. got the fire going here. Gonna cook some corned beef. I want to get it super hot in the skillet. See if I can get a nice crisp on it. I did it on the the house stove. I want to see if I can get it hotter here. I was over talking to our YouTube neighbor Dan of, I always mess his channel, Northwoods Dream. He's building a house and he's got a garage over there that he's built by himself. So I haven't caught up with him for a while. It's been a couple months. So now here in the Northwoods of Wisconsin, it's early June and nearly 9 o'clock, and we still got light. I think it gets dark like at 9:20, 9:30ish. Really gets dark. So if it wasn't for the bugs, it'd be really nice. Quite a few mosquitoes out. So that's what it looks like. It's got a different flavor. It's not bad. I enjoy it. So that will be all for tonight. Get up early in the morning. Well, not early, but get up tomorrow morning. And the landscaper should be here. We'll get this driveway cut out. While he's doing that, I can do a couple additional projects. Small things around the camp here, and we'll see how quickly he gets it done, and then we'll try it out. So appreciate you coming along for this unique, exciting episode of getting the driveway cut into our property here in the Northwoods, Wisconsin. Good morning. Today's the day for the driveway. Going to go down and move the car, get the sign out of the way. Came out of the tent. It's like 7 o'clock. Heard a deer run like right through here. There's one that appears on camera, or has, when we come up here and we just walk in. The last couple times we spooked one here or down by where the garden is. And then we've had them walk through camp, a little fawn and a doe. So, that's what it is. Crisp morning, crisp, cool morning. I don't know if you caught that. They came down the road here, walked out of the tent and kicked one out, and then walking down here, there's two of them that trotted down this road that our property is adjacent to. Huh. Interesting. A lot of deer activity, which is good. So I gotta move the car up over here and then take the sign down, because I guess he would drive in here and offload. With the driveway guys here, and he is having at it. I walked through a review of what the video showed, and he's gonna get at it. Excited to have a driveway put in and get the car and the SUV up here so we don't have to haul things up that hill. While he's doing that, I'm gonna work on this chimney. In the last episode, we talked about that it was leaking when it was raining. So I need to take both of those pipes off and look and see if there's somehow water's getting in there. I'll sprinkle some water when I have it down, because somehow it's getting into the pipe and running down the inside. So since I've got the stove pipe off, I'm gonna clean it because it's pretty corroded. All this is a broom handle with a 6-inch chimney sweep brush on it. Now this works fine because our chimney is only 2, 4, 6, 8 foot tall, and I can split it at the top. Now if you've got a much larger, longer stovepipe, then you're gonna have to buy the actual rod or rods that come with it, but this works very well. Whew. So I'll clean it now, and then we'll burn some wood on it through the summer to get the dampness out of the tent. Then I'll clean it one more time before the winter hits. There's a lot of crease build up. still haven't figured out where the leak's coming from. So inside I rotated the pipe in a different direction. I'll affix this onto that pipe because it's not leaking through the cracks like I thought it might be. And then dribble a little water on the outside and see if it goes in the inside. So what I found out was, I think the pipe is damaged. No, I mean not damaged, it's not broken, but it's crimped to a point where it doesn't conform to the silicone wrap, even though the silicone, or the hole is 5 inches and the pipe is 6. So what I will do is I'll get some heat resistant or heat tolerant silicone, and on the upper side I will put a bead around it in order to keep this water from running down the pipe and in the tent and on the stove. For the temporary fix, I did put a bead of that gasket sealant around it because we got 2 inches of rain coming tomorrow into Friday. So it's what it is for what right now. So it's one of those things for you individuals that have a homestead, a camp, a cabin, that type of thing. Like with that chimney, thought it would be a simple adjust the pipe, do this, do that. No, I'm gonna have to buy a product in order to seal around the gasket. So there's always more and more things that you try to fix one thing, you gotta buy something else or adjust something else in order to get that project done. So that project's not necessarily done, but I have sealed it up with that adhesive, that gasket adhesive, just to try to slow down the water going in the tent until we get the correct product. He's coming along quite nicely on the driveway. He's just right on the top of the peak of the hill there, and then he's got all of this to clean up here. I'm going to sneak down on the other side and kind of look, see how it's looking, and I'll bring you along. The transition right here looks very, very nice. Better than I could have expected. To drive the car over to get into this. There's a little sandy pocket up there. Have to address that. But other than that, things look really nice so far because the gate's going to go right here. This is an old Coleman air mattress that we had when we first bought that cot and did state park camping, and then we had it here for like 3 weeks, and it's the most uncomfortable thing. That's why we got a memory foam mattress for the tent. Hem and mice got in it whenever we had the memory foam mattress wrapped up in the overwinter bag, and this was deflated underneath and they chewed this up. So it's 5 foot wide by 6 foot. I need to make it so it goes over top of that storage tent because that storage tent leaks from the top. I talked about that earlier. So the width is correct, but the length is not. So I'm gonna have to split it down the center here, and then this is the better side, and then utilize it that way and then nail it down. It's not going to look pretty, but I don't think this is going to last very long. This may last a season by the time the sun breaks it down, but it'll be good water, stop the water from going in that tent. So that should work. I extended it longer because I got a hole here. So I'm not going to go over there because he's almost up here on top of the hill, and I want to impede his operation by me fussing around over there and walking back and forth. So this will be an after he's done job, but I think this is going to work for what we need on a temporary basis. Made it up by the tent to do his preliminary cleaning, or Boy, it makes it a lot easier when you have the right equipment versus a shovel and a rake. Doing real good. So he's getting there. Basically, he's got all of this level, and we've got a big rain coming in tomorrow and Friday. But drive up there, turn here, back here, point the car back out that way. I haven't been down to the lower end since we were down there earlier. He's compacting, kind of leveling things off right now. There's some soft spots, but I don't think it's anything that would impede the getting the car up here. So we will find that out soon enough. A lot easier. I mean, there's no way a person without a machine could do something like this. And then we can always back the SUV up with the wood, stack it right there, and don't have to pull it up the hill anymore. Made a lot of trips up that hill with a wagon. Well, the driveway is complete. I've drove up it. The car's up there. I'll show you. I drove up it, drove down, or drove up, drove down, and then backed up just to see. We've got a sandy clay mix. As the sun dries this out, it's really going to pack in. Now we're going to get 2 inches of rain here. 2 inches of rain here in the next 48 hours. So that will help settle and wash, and I'll see what needs to be adjusted at that point. But Ken did an incredible job. Came in here 2.5 hours. He was in and out. Knew exactly what I needed to do based on the video on the pre walkthrough. Again, gate's going to be right there. The rock here where we had that parking, where the parking pad was, it was so rough. Now he smoothed that out, which we had the parking pad with this large rock because we didn't know what we were getting into when we bought the property, and we wanted to have a stationary place where we could park and be able to drive away and not sink into the road or in the soil. Very nice. We'll have to see. The next step is the putting a cabin up here, which is a 2 to 3 year project, because that's got to start acquiring funds for that in our finances, and figure out what trees may need to be removed in order to get the width of the unit up here. There's no reason why it could not come up here now. I was thinking maybe it'd be too steep, but certainly it can come up here now. Just have to figure out the width, but that's another project. One thing here that I really like, and I advise you if you're looking at doing something like this, is having your turnoff for your property, have it not aligned with what is up on your property if you can avoid that. You drive by, you see the driveway, you don't know what's up here because there's not a straight line, or there's a lot of curves here. So people may think it's just something up here, just an area that we're going to build, but there's nothing here. I'll get a gate down there. And then you can see how much he had to dig down, like 16 inches in some areas. And he left this here to even add more seclusion to the tent. And there is the car. Very excited, very happy with this. And we can just back right in there, unload wood, unload everything, wagon. We don't have to go up and down with the wagon anymore. The wagon will be utilized, but very happy with that. another project I want to get done before the rain comes. I showed you earlier this old Coleman air mattress that should have significant improvement. Just going to take some roofing nails and affix it to the bracing in which I have, and that should really prevent a lot of water from getting inside, because when it was raining last week, it was kind of raining inside. Use what you got. That'll work much better and should shed the water off. Holly was wanting me to throw this out, and I said no, I'm sure we'll save it and find some use for it, and we have. When it gets bad, we'll just rip it up and throw it in the trash, but it still has a little life in it. Installed this little 1x4 shelf here for Holly so she can put her phone and her thermos up there in order to do TikTok short things when she's here at the tent for her followers. She struggled to try to get the balance on the support bar log there, so got that done. Gonna have some Spam for lunch. No, I think that's gonna be it, because I got to get back home. I have other commitments to get to because it's a Thursday, and things were planned for do this tomorrow, but I'm happy it's done. I'm happy the car can drive up the in the woods by the tent. Very exciting. Well, that's going to do it on this very unique episode video. Appreciate you coming along. So happy we've got a driveway now. We don't have to haul things up from the parking pad. Park the car right by the tent. Have a little more security on that. Got to get a gate in if all goes right the next episode. So let's put driveway in the comments below if you've made it this far. Certainly appreciate that. And until next time, we'll see you then.